What's up, dogs and dogettes and fantasy players out there? Welcome to week 4 of the NFL Pick'em with your boy Harkdawg 25, and coming off a very good week for week 4. I won 12-4 against the spread and in wins and losses just straight up. Unfortunately, I tied for 3rd in my Pick'em league, and because of the points again, I ended up getting 5th. No money. What are you gonna do? But 12 out of 16, I don't get any money. So crazy. It's been that kind of year. But let's take a look at the overall standings. Like you see, I was 12-4 last week against the spread straight up. I am 31-17 against the spread overall, so I am destroying Vegas. And I'm 32-16 straight up. So I'm doing very well so far this year. Tied for 2nd in my Pick'em league, which is a good start for me. Let's take a look. Fitz Canada is the only one playing so far. Get your picks in. Just throw them, write them down below, write them in the comments. Straight up or against the spread, let me know, and I'll put you in the video as well. It's a lot of fun to do. It's just challenges your football acumen a little bit to see if you can figure out which team is going to grind better, have the better turnover ratio, the home advantage, the coach, the QB, the better talent on defense. So it's fun to weigh it, and the boys in Vegas do a pretty good job usually of making the spreads equal out the teams pretty well. So Fitz Canada was 13-3 straight up, and he is 31-17 overall straight up. And I told him he's gonna have to start picking against the spread next week, because that's where the real fun is. Okay, so let's jump into the games right away. Hopefully this video won't be 25 minutes long like the rest. First game, Pittsburgh at home facing Baltimore. Baltimore favored by 2.5 points. Michael Vick starting for Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell is finally back and running all over the place. Baltimore has just not had it this year, and they're a few plays away from a couple wins, but you need to make those plays to get the wins, and they're not making the plays right now. Forset's been non-existent. Steve Smith Sr. has been carrying the team on his back somehow for the first 3 weeks. It's just crazy to think that there's not that much talent on this team, and they were a couple plays from going to the AFC Championship game over the Patriots last year. So to think this team fell off that much is kind of weird, but it also looks like it's also the truth. So I have Pittsburgh in this game. Yeah, I think the home field advantage. Michael Vick, if he doesn't turn the ball over and just hands the ball off to Le'Veon Bell 25-30 times, just have him crash, and just make short passes, dink and dunk, not do anything crazy with Vick. Maybe get him outside the pocket, get him a few yards with his legs, even though his legs aren't what they used to be. I think they got a chance to win and cover this game. Baltimore, like I said, Flacco, he's been kind of hot and cold this year, mostly cold. Forset's been ice cold. I even benched him this week for Carlos Williams, who I picked up off the scrap heap. And Steve Smith Sr. is like the only guy, so you stop him. We're gonna throw it to Crockett Gilmore. Rashard Perriman has had surgery. He's out, so it's like they just don't have the talent on that side. I think Pittsburgh's gonna win and cover. So next game in London, the Miami Dolphins at home. Underdogs by 2 points to the New York Jets. I think the Jets have the better coach, the better defense, the better running back, the better wide receiver in Marshall. QB, Tannehill, I guess, is kind of a little bit better. But you add all that up, I think the Jets and the non-home field advantage of the Dolphins, and the Dolphins just looked terrible last week, just so bad. Wow, ugh, ugly to watch. But I think the Jets are going to win and cover this game. I think they're going to pound the ball with Chris Ivory. Fitzpatrick, if he does not turn it over and gets the ball into Marshall's hands, I think Decker's still out. But Miami just, I know they got Matthews. Rashard Matthews is stepping up. Landry. But Lamar Miller has been non-existent so far. I mean, if Miller actually starts running the ball, they got a good chance. Good chance to win this game. Miller has done absolutely jack squat so far this season. So I got the Jets in this game. Next game, Indianapolis at home, favored by 9 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I got the Jaguars covering this game. Indianapolis winning the game. So give me the Jaguars with the points. It looks like Andrew Luck has a sore shoulder. Didn't practice today. And might not play. He's questionable. I think he's going to play, though. Because they need him. That defense can't really cover anybody. Vontae Davis on Allen Robinson. That's the only thing I got going for them. Frank Gore, you know, he's kind of had a subpar start. T.Y. Hilton's, where's he been? You know, I drafted him in a league. Andre Johnson hasn't done much. So it's really, really tough to get behind Indianapolis winning this game by more than 9 points. So that's why I'm going with Jacksonville to cover. And Bortles to Robinson, Bortles to Hearns. And once Julius Thomas gets back, they'll have a decent offense. Next game, Buffalo at home, favored by 6 points against your New York Football Giants. I have Buffalo by 6 points in this game. I just think Tyrod Taylor, he's pretty dynamic. A lot more dynamic than I thought he would be this year. Even with Sammy Watkins down, Carlos Williams has stepped up big for Shady McCoy this year so far already. And Percy Harvin's been having a good start to the year. Charles Clay. I mean, they got some weapons on that offense in Buffalo. And the stout defense, that front four with you know, Darius and Mario Williams are going to wreak havoc. They're going to be on Eli all day. So Eli's got to get the ball out quick. He's got to get it to Beckham Jr. He's got to get it to Ruben Randall. And he's got to give it to Rashad Jennings and try and, you know, keep him honest. Keep that front four from just crashing down hard on every play. You know, if they get some good yardage on first downs with Jennings and Andre Williams, it might be a little bit better day for the Giants. But I have Buffalo in this game. Next game, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home against your 3-0 Carolina Panthers. And I'm riding the Panthers hot seat. I've picked them all 3 weeks. They've covered all 3 weeks. Tampa Bay just, Jameis Winston just does not have that winning ability in the NFL yet. I mean, I know he won the game a couple weeks ago. Last week, their kicker missed 3 field goals and an extra point. If that game covers, I win. I win the league outright last week in my Pick'em league. But no, he missed 3 field goals. They lost by 10. The spread was 6.5, so he hit the field goal and the extra point. Boom, game. I win. But no, I mean, Tampa Bay just, it seems like something always goes wrong every week. I know they beat New Orleans, but New Orleans has had more go wrong than Tampa Bay. So I have Carolina in this game. I know they beefed up their defense with Jared Allen, which is going to be good. Cam Newton's just on a tear. Jonathan Stewart looks like he might be injured this week, but if he plays, heavy dose of him. Greg Olsen came out of retirement last week finally. I was waiting for him to go off, and he finally did. And, you know, Newton's it's just controlling the game, you know, moving it down the field methodically, not fast, not going big plays, and grinding the game out, grinding that defense down, and getting the victory that way. So I got Carolina in this game. Next game, Washington at home against Philadelphia, coming off a big victory against the Jets last week. I got Philly in this game. I think they kind of got the monkey off their back, so to speak. I think since they won last week, yeah, Darren Sproles is just a beast, a 5'6" beast. Just putting the team on his back, carrying him, punt return, you know, nice pass play down the sidelines. They got the win. They're reading their own press clippings, and then they got in their own head. And Bradford's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be good, and he's not good. It's like, just get the ball out quick, get it in your playmakers' hands any way you can. Don't let Bradford try and carry the game like he did against Dallas, you know, where he threw the ball 58 times. You know, you got to get the ball in your playmakers' hands. Sproles, Murray, Matthews, the other Matthews, Cooper, Ertz, all those guys. Have them make plays. Don't go for these like 20-yard down the field seam routes. Dink and dunk. And then you might be able to pick something off later. But just control the game, wear the defense down, because you want to run a lot of plays. And if you go 3 and out in a minute 30, that's putting the pressure on your defense again. So I think Philly's going to win and cover this game. Next game, well, we already know. I'm picking Oakland over Chicago. Chicago's a dumpster fire. They got rid of everybody. Forte is the only guy left there. Jeffrey's not playing. It's like, why even show up, Like, I feel bad for Chicago. Well, I don't feel bad because I'm a Packer fan. I love it when they're going down. They're burning. The ship is burning. The rats are deserting the ship. But Oakland looking good. Carr to Cooper. Carr to Crabtree. And Latavius Murray looking very good. So I got Oakland to win and cover this game. Next game, Atlanta Falcons at home, fair by 6.5 against Houston. Houston coming in. Ryan Mallett hasn't done much. They don't score many points. J.J. Watt hasn't scored a touchdown yet. He had like 4 at this time last year. Like a couple on defense and a couple on offense. I think Atlanta with Quinn, their new head coach, defensive-minded coach, and Matt Ryan to Julio Jones is just, what an epic hookup. It's ridiculous. And Devontae Freeman had a great game. So if they get a running game going to complement Julio and Ryan, it's going to be tough to beat. I think they're going to win this game by a touchdown, like a 27-20 type game, and they're going to cover. Next game, Cincinnati Bengals at home against Kansas City. Cincinnati's been playing so well. They got all their weapons. They got Green, they got Eifert, they got Marvin Jones, they got Sanu, they got Bernard, they got Hill. Everybody is healthy, and this is what this team can do when everybody is healthy. 3-0 start, beating quality teams, and beating them just handily. I mean, last week against Baltimore was a little tough, but they showed some gumption. They came back. Green, 2 touchdowns in the final like 5 minutes, 227 yards, just rocking. And he is healthy. You could just throw the ball to him. He'll make plays. Kansas City coming off a huge loss to my Packers. Rodgers just torched him. So look for the same thing. Look for Dalton to try and torch Kansas City's depleted secondary. I know they had Grimes. I think it's Grimes went down with a torn ACL, that cornerback, and Rodgers picked on him all last week, the replacement. So look for that again. And Gio Bernard, get him in space. I mean, he's been tearing it up. Hill just hasn't been doing too much ever since he fumbled in the second game a couple times. So I'm looking to see that Cincinnati's going to win this game and cover outright. San Diego at home, favored by 7.5 points against Cleveland. I have San Diego winning, but I think Cleveland's going to hang in there. I think they get Duke Johnson Jr. involved a little bit more, get him carrying the ball, get him running downhill. McCown looked decent last week. Almost brought it back against Oakland. Didn't have a turnover until that last pick that Woodson did, and that was a great play by Woodson. And that guy was wide open. He's got to get the ball a little quicker, throw it more to the sideline, and that would have been a completed pass to Benjamin. But I feel that Cleveland's going to hang around. San Diego's going to win. Once they get Gates back, San Diego will be a tough team to beat. I hope Gates comes back good because Heath Miller sucks. He's been doing good so far, but I feel like with Vic out, Heath Miller is not going to get much of looks anymore. So I got Cleveland covering, San Diego winning. Next game, San Francisco at home against the best team in the NFL, Green Bay Packers. Obviously, I have the Packers winning and covering. Rodgers going to torch them, dink and dunk. The defense is not there for San Francisco. The offense is not there. You contain Kaepernick, make him throw the ball. He's going to throw a lot of bad passes like he did last week. He threw 2 pick sixes in his first 4 passes last week against Arizona, which helped my fantasy team. Thank you. So I got Green Bay winning and covering. Rodgers, big game. And Lacey's just going to pound it. Lacey and Starks, the 1-2 punch. I think they're just going to wear the team down and take them out. So next game, Arizona at home, favored by 6.5 against St. Louis. I got Arizona in this game. Arizona is just looking so good. Their defense is strong. Palmer's looking good. Fitz, resurgence here. Josh Brown, Michael Floyd, Chris Johnson, resurgence here. I mean, they're just a team of big stars at one point. that have all convoluted on the same team, and now they're all working together for one cause, and that cause is to beat St. Louis by 7 or more points this week, which I think they will. Then we have Denver at home against Minnesota. This is a tough game to pick. I know Charles Johnson is out for Minnesota, but he hasn't done much this year. Denver's more of a dink and dunk team. They're not gonna put up 50 on you anymore. I think Manny just doesn't have that potential, and well, I think he's got the potential. He doesn't have the weapons, because C.J. Anderson and Hillman have done nothing this year. C.J. Anderson's been just he's on a milk carton somewhere on my fantasy team. He's giving me like no points. I think Minnesota with AP running the ball. I mean, he's got a couple 100-yard games last 2 games. They control the clock. Bridgewater gets it out to Wallace, gets it out to Rudolph, gets it out to AP in space. I think they're going to cover this game. I think Denver's going to win. I think Denver's going to win by a field goal. Maybe 27-20, 24-21. It won't be as high scoring as we assume that most Denver games will be. Then the Sunday night game, New Orleans at home against your Dallas Cowboys. Brandon Weeden led. Man, Dallas let a game go last week. It was so funny to watch. I was like, come on, Atlanta. Come on, Atlanta. Let's do it. Touchdown. Come on, Atlanta. Touchdown. Lead. Come on, Atlanta. Field goal. Game over. I mean, Dallas scored 0 points in the second half, 28 in the first half, which is crazy. They ran the ball so well in the first half. Got away from it in the second half. Weeden, threw that pick in the second quarter. It kind of changed the dynamic of the game, because I think it was 21-10 at that point, or 28-10. And then 28-14, and then I believe Atlanta got a field goal right at the half because of that, and that kind of changed the momentum a little bit. Gave them a little spark. I have Dallas covering. I think the Saints, with Drew Brees coming back, are going to win this game and get off the snide. I think they're going to win by a field goal. I feel it's going to be in that 27-24 range again. It's just maybe 23-20. The teams aren't going to score that much. New Orleans just isn't a juggernaut like it once was. They don't have the playmakers. Brandon Cooks has really done nothing. Ingram hasn't done much. Willie Snead, who the hell's that? So it's like pick your poison on a team with less weapons. The coaches are pretty equal. Breeze is the only player that's like better than the other player on Dallas. I mean, obviously better than Weeden. But he is coming off a shoulder injury. He hasn't had a good year in about 2 years. So I think they're gonna win at home though. Dallas will cover. Then Seattle at home against Detroit. Monday Night Football. Seattle favored by 9.5 points. I have Seattle winning and covering this game. I just think with Chancellor coming back, that was huge. They shut out the Bears. Lynch hasn't had much. So if you have roles on your open in your fantasy league, pick him up, because Lynch looks like he's just not the same. He's just not what he was over the last 3-4 years. He's not beast mode. He's just mode, a la mode. He's ice cream. He's melting, Detroit, Stafford is just, decision making is not there. He doesn't get the ball to Johnson. He doesn't get the ball to Tate. Amir Abdullah can only do so much as a rookie. Their defense is bad. Which we saw last week. And I feel that Seattle at home, Detroit has no shot. So I think I got Seattle 30-20 in this game. And those are your picks. So remember, leave your picks below in the comments right down there. Subscribe for more NFL picks action. And also like the video. That's right. So we'll see you next time. Good luck against Vegas.